Hello and welcome, Sagittarius. This is your story in the Jade Emperor's Great Race and the 2026 Yang Fire Horse Mojo. Now, Red Horse Year begins on February 17th of 2026, lasting all the way through until February 5th of 2027. The Yang Fire Horse Lucky Charms first. We're going to give you the lucky charms for this year for Yang Fire Horse, and then we're going to give you your lucky charms and tell you how to fit those in together so you can have the best. And then we're going to tell you your story, how you fit in the Jade Emperor's race to place 12 animals on the Zodiac Wheel, because Sagittarius has a counterpart. And we'll get to that in a moment. But first, the gemstones for the Yang Fire Horse lucky charms for this year are ruby for vigor. Also, ruby affords you valor, success, potency, and a tremendous amount of zeal. Now, carnelian, citrine, red jasper, these are three stones that are good for connecting to strong verb and great dynamism. Also, amethyst is great for fortification of persons and property, or to banish unhelpful frequencies, very important, in addition to amethyst supporting the appearance of your skin, hair, and your nails. The colors, the lucky colors for your Red Fire Horse year are vermilion red, red, yellow, gold, purple, and indigo. You want to avoid orange, and you want to stay away from green or dark green in a Red Horse year. Red Horse year comes every 60 years. There's like yellow horse and black horse and the other colors, okay? So there's five other colors. There's five colors in general. There's four other colors. So what you need to understand is that this comes every 60 years, 60 years. So it's like a new start. The year you were born in, when that comes up again, that's like a new start in your life. And things will kind of repeat with a slightly more advanced frequency because, of course, you have more knowledge than you did the first time around. Now, the numbers that are very fortunate for Yang Fire Horse Red Year are 1, 4, 5, 7, and 9. Now, you want to avoid 2, 3, and 6 this year. For your place in the Jade Emperor's race, we'll get to the story in a minute, but just so you know how you correspond, the Western Astrology sign of Sagittarius the Archer corresponds to the Chinese Zodiac animal of Rat. Rat came in, I'll give you a heads up here, first place, okay? Because Rat is smart, akamai. And Western Astrology sign of Gemini is in similitude with Chinese Zodiac animal of Horse. Okay, now the Sagittarius, your lucky charms in general, and then we'll show you how to blend them in. So your gemstone, as you probably know, is turquoise, because that's your birthstone, okay? Now, the turquoise comes in various colors, so you want to use the vibrant blue type. The light blue type are good. Also, the dark blue are best for Red Horse year. You want to use the Sleeping Beauty turquoise gemstones. These are rare example of a very bluish type of turquoise that you want to utilize this year, because blue is a very good color for a Red Horse year. On the other hand, conversely, you want to avoid or shun the blue-green or green shades, whether of dark or light hues, when it comes to your turquoise birthstone. Because remember, we said avoid green and orange. Okay, so that's why. Now, generally, your lucky colors, Sagittarius, are blue, white, and salmon. Blue is lucky. White is fortunate as well. Salmon is helpful only if the tones are salmon pink or salmon red hues, avoiding the orange or mixtures thereof in Red Horse year. Now, moving into the lucky numbers for you, normally for the Archer, the lucky numbers are 4, 6, and 1 usually. Nevertheless, in a Red Horse year, you need Sagittarius specifically to avoid the 6, which is not lucky this year, but what's very lucky this year are the 4 and the 1. So you want to go ahead and utilize the 4 and the 1. those are good for you. Next, very important, Sagittarius' place in the Jade Emperor's great zodiac race. How did you fit in? Because we've already told you what your counterpart is, but this now is how you, Sagittarius, how you ran the race and why you placed first. It's a very interesting story. Sagittarius, now, okay, Western Astrology sign of Sagittarius the Archer, as we mentioned, you correspond with Chinese Zodiac animal of rat. Legend has it that the Jade Emperor held a race to place 12 animals on the Zodiac Wheel. Rat came in first place, as we mentioned, first place in this race held by the Jade Emperor. Rat made a deal with Cat to hitch a ride on top the ox because they were the best of friends and thought that ox would be able to cross the river faster and more assuredly than anyone else, thereby getting them an excellent placement on the astrological wheel. Rat made a move that caused Cat to be thrown off ox, allowing Rat to get ahead of everyone and finish in first place. Legend has it that this is why nowadays Rat and Cat do not get along, even though they used to be very close friends. Cat is mad at Rat, and Rat knows why, and also recognizes that Cat's anger is right, which is why we see Cat always chasing Rat to get retribution and Rat running away from Cat. Check out all the, cartoons that show that. Okay, so this is how it went down. You were very shrewd, and shrewd finishes first in life. That's just the way it is. So understand that it was a very cunning thing that you did, and you understand what's going on. And so people can take a note from, if people want to make it in this life, they need to take a note from Sagittarius that you have to be smart, you have to be shrewd, you have to be akamai. You can't be overly sentimental. You have to do what you need to do to win. And indeed, that will get you far, and it does. And so understand that making shrewd moves, it's like playing a chess game, and the game of life is something that everybody needs to know if they want to go ahead and achieve a lot in Red Horse Year. So understand too that the reason, just so you know, the reason that sometimes Chinese New Year starts and the year changes in January, late January, or early to mid-February is due to the placement when they're actually astronomical placements. Like January 1st is kind of man-made arbitrary. But the way Chinese do it is by the astronomical positions. I didn't say astrological, although they are, but astronomical, which everybody can believe in because it's a science. Astrology is too, but nevertheless, a lot of people believe in astronomy that don't believe in astrology. It's based on astronomy because it is the second new moon after the winter solstice is when Chinese New Year begins. And this year, okay, not only is February 17th, not only is it Chinese New Year when we begin year of the red fire horse, Yang fire horse, also it is Fat Tuesday, the day before Lent, and when they have Mardi Gras. And also, it is also the new moon in Aquarius. So understand. And go ahead and check out our Sagittarius. We did an earlier Sagittarius video for you, and you can go learn about how you should proceed in this Red Horse Year to have your highest amount of success, Sagittarius. Okay, thanks for joining us, and stay tuned because we're going to give you all the information. Stay tuned for all our updates, and well, we're sure to see you soon. Bye-bye.